It's set on the planet Eternia, which is kind of like a medieval themed culture, but crossed with some futuristic elements, sort of like Thor, I would compare it to.
It felt like I was watching the cartoons again. He brought that element to the big screen, which I was really happy about. Because Skeletor, even though he's a menace, he's also pretty funny as well.
The soundtrack of this movie, it's a really cool mix of heavy metal and electronic music, reminiscent of Thor Ragnarok, I would say, but it feels original. I saw in the credits Brian May was involved. He played guitar on the main theme.
And viewers, please see this film. Please see it. It's bombing big time. I want a sequel. I think they can really improve it. So please go ahead and check this out.
Welcome to Hate to See It with Mike and Sid, the talk show where we bring you a new movie review each week. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sid.
We're a small channel, so we'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and drop a comment with your feedback. Also, we encourage you to take advantage of the chapters feature so you can skip right to whichever segments pique your interest the most. With that out of the way, Sid, how's it going?
I'm doing well. It's beautiful Sunday. We're back to our normal recording. Little tidbit for our viewers who might be tennis fans. Last week, we talked about the Allies winning the war. This week, a German player has won the French Open. First time a male German player, has won since 1937 while Hitler was in charge. So today, the Germans have won.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize it's been that long.
Been a long time. So quite the contrast from last episode.
A good player. He's been around for a bit. He's been to the finals before, but I think this is his first major, right?
It is his first major.
Zverev.
Yep. He finally won. Some people will say it's illegitimate. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly because, some of the best tennis players either were injured or got eliminated early. But either way, it counts.
Who was hurt? Was Alcaraz hurt?
Yeah, so he missed it. He dropped out.
And Djokovic lost early, but I mean,
Djokovic lost early. Skinner lost very early. He got cramps.
Yeah.
So anyway, this ain't a tennis channel, but how are you doing, Mike? You sound a little congested or something.
I'm doing good. No, I feel fine. Just a little bit hoarse. I've had a cough for a couple of weeks, but I'm otherwise perfect.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're doing well. Before we get into our first segment, just wanted to talk about how we got here, or how I got here, specifically with this episode. So this episode is going to be Masters of the Universe. That's the film we're reviewing. So I'd mentioned this via text to you. So when it comes to reserving tickets, I like to reserve it as soon as it's available. Yeah. I'm always stalking the app, looking to reserve my tickets, have a full calendar, have a full schedule of movies that are coming up. As you know, with AMC, you can reserve 4 at a time. But anyways, so I reserved this film a long time ago. But when that happens, a lot of times the time that they're showing is not the best time. So this was a 7 o'clock showing, Dolby Digital, which is not my preferred time. And it was an early release. It was a Wednesday showing because this movie comes out on Thursday. Anyway, I think it was Wednesday morning. I look in the app. I find a 10 o'clock showing at Dolby Digital. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm like, all right, let's switch, which is kind of a hassle because now I got to, refund my ticket, delete it from my calendar and Outlook. Also, remove the app, the actual invite from the Apple app, whatever that's called. Like the invite, not the invite, the ticket. So you have to do 3 different things. So I do all that, and I go into the app to reserve my ticket. I pick my seat for the 10 o'clock showing. It's not working. It says it's sold out. Like, what the hell's going on? It's not sold out. There's so many damn tickets. So I keep trying. Nothing's happening. At this point, I go back to try to get my prior showing. It says that's sold out too. So now I'm completely shit out of luck. Like, what the fuck? So I don't know if it's glitch or whatever. I panic. I end up getting a ticket for Thursday, but I'm really hell bent to getting a ticket for Thursday or Wednesday. So I keep trying, keep refreshing, keep saying it's sold out, which doesn't make sense. And then it's like 4 o'clock. Everything is sold out at this point. Every showing, every movie. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. How is every movie sold out? I get it that we're back. AMC's kicking ass. It's doing really well. But everything is sold out. So I keep checking. It's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I finally called them. I'm like, what's going on? Which is a surprise because they never pick up. They never pick up the damn phone call when you call them. So she's like, we had a power outage. We should be back in 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. 15 minutes come by, nothing. So finally around 9 o'clock, before the 10 o'clock showing, it finally is there. I'm pumped. I get my ticket. I'm back in business. And I end up seeing Masters of the Universe when I wanted to at a preferred time and my seat that I usually pick.
Was it a crowded theater?
It was surprisingly very crowded.
Yeah, I heard that the previews, the movie did very well on the Wednesday and Thursday previews, but the rest of the weekend not so much.
No, they're really bad, but we'll talk about that later. So sorry about going off on a tangent, but let's kick it off with our first segment, which is.
Cast question.
And what is Cast Question for our new viewers?
It's our segment where our friend Cast asks us a trivia question. And do you remember what the running score is? I know you're ahead of me. I finally got a point because Cast officially gave me a point for the Star Wars question, even though it didn't have a right answer. But he said I deserve a point for that one.
So then I think it's 3-1.
3-1. So we've got one that's going to be related to Masters of the Universe. I don't know anything about Masters of the Universe. I think you know a little bit.
I do. I'm an 80s baby.
Well, I mean, I'm an 80s baby too, but this was before our time.
Yeah, but you're like a delayed 80s baby. I'm 84, you're 85. At that point, it's the 90s.
Sid, I'm 5 months younger than you.
Yeah, it's a 84, 85. In my opinion, a big difference.
All right. Well, did you actually have the toys?
Yes.
Okay. Well, do you remember which ones you had?
I had probably most of them, a lot of them.
He-Man,
He-Man,
Man-at-Arms,
She-Man.
She-Ra. See,
She-Ra.
you call her She-Man. You pretend to be a fan. Come on, man.
I had some She-Man, She-Ra, whatever it is. But
All
anyway,
right.
I had it. Let's get into the question.
Let's check out what the question is. Give me a
She-Mail.
second to pull it up.
Hello, everybody. It's Cass from Throwbacks with the Technodrome, back here for some trivia on Hate to See It with Mike and Sid. I'm here to ask a Masters of the Universe question to two guys who aren't even the masters of their own domain. Here's the question. Which future Friend star appeared in the original Masters of the Universe? Is it A, Courtney Cox, B, Matt LeBlanc, C, Matthew Perry, or D, Jennifer Aniston?
All right. Do you have your answer?
I do. Do you?
Don't reveal it. Yeah, I have an answer. Don't reveal it yet. Well, actually, I guess we could reveal it. Should we reveal it and see what he says?
Yep. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and we'll say it, okay? So 3, 2, 1, A.
B.
All right, let's see who's got it right.
Let's see.
And the answer is A, Courtney Cox. And if you didn't know that one, you're probably just sitting alone at home, dancing in the dark. Back to you, boys.
All right, so that's very interesting. He references Dancing in the Dark at the end. Courtney Cox famously is in the music video for Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark. Did you know that?
I did.
She's dancing in the crowd, and at the end of the music video, he invites her on stage and they dance together. And she is very young in that music video. And that is the exact reason I did not guess her, because I didn't think she would have been cast in a movie like this at that time. I thought she was an unknown. So that actually tricked me. Like these,
You got tricked.
I got tricked. These questions are not actually. It's not random. I'm getting hurt by knowing things. If I would be doing better,
Do you know or do you not know?
No. Well, I don't know, but I'm being. See, I'm actually being hurt.
You sound like a sore loser.
I'm being hurt by having information that is leading me in wrong directions. If I was just guessing randomly, if I was a monkey just guessing randomly, I'd be doing better.
Potentially, but this is the rationale you had on why you got it wrong is why I got it right.
Okay.
Because I was like, it has to be an unknown person. Because a lot of times you see actors when they're unknown, they're in films, right? And then they eventually become known and they eventually have their big break. So I thought the two men, I'm like, nah, let's cross them out. I don't think it's them. So then I left with the two women and I said, who is probably the bigger unknown? And I said, Jennifer Aniston. Or was the answer? The answer was Courtney Cox. I was like, I don't think it was Jennifer, so let me go with Courtney Cox. And that's how I got the answer.
Well, you got lucky again.
Not luck. 4-1, commanding lead. You truly love to see it from our master of trivia, Cast. Oops.
Well, we've been ragging on Cast for giving us these references at the beginning that we don't get. I got the reference this time. There were two references. There was the Dancing in the Dark and then the Master of Your Domain. Seinfeld reference.
Luckily, Cass does not give bonus points for getting his references.
I think I should get like 5 bonus points for that.
Anyway, thank you, Cass. Let's get into our next segment, which is our 60-second setup. Well, kick it off, Mike.
All right, 60-second setup. It's where we're going to give you the premise of the movie in 60 seconds or less. So, Masters of the Universe, it's set on the planet Eternia, which is kind of like a medieval themed culture, but crossed with some futuristic elements, sort of like Thor, I would compare it to. Adam is a prince. He's like a 12-year-old boy. He's not really a natural fighter. He is kind of an awkward kid and kind of a funny kid. He's training how to fight along with other children in this culture, including with his friend Teela. And his father, the king, is trying to make a man out of him. And while this is all going on, their kingdom gets attacked by Skeletor and his forces. Skeletor is looking for the power of sword, and his forces are victorious. They defeat the king's top soldier, Duncan, played by Idris Elba, and they kidnap the king and the queen. And Skeletor is about to acquire the sword of power, but the sorceress gives the sword of power to Adam and sends him to the Earth realm, to Earth with the sword. And during this journey to Earth, he loses the sword somewhere on Earth, and he's there for 15 years, like living like a so-called normal life, until finally, he's, in his mid-20s, maybe early 30s, working as an office job for, in some HR role, but he's obsessed with finding the sword. He finally tracks it down to some comic store, and when he, touches the sword, this triggers Skeletor's Lieutenant Mr. Beast, not Mr. Beast, some beast to come and look for it, and then Teela comes as well, and that sets off the whole movie, and they end up back on.
Yes, it does.
They end up back on Eternia trying to overthrow Skeletor.
Perfect. Great job, Mike. That was our 120-second setup.
Is that how long it was?
Maybe, but you covered it. Hats off to you. You're the master of 60.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll do our next segment, which is initial reactions.
Sure.
And we're going to try to keep it shorter, initial reactions. So just really quick, off the cuff reactions.
Yep. Off the cuff. Funny. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Brought me back to the 80s.
Okay. I liked a lot of this movie. I wanted to like the movie more. The parts that I liked, I really liked, but I thought the movie was held back by some dull moments.
All righty. And that concludes our initial reactions. So let's get right into our hate to see it, the segment where you and I come up with a couple things we disliked from this film.
Okay. Do you mind if I kick it off?
Kick it off, sir.
Because I kind of just alluded to it, some dull moments. I thought the movie was too long. The movie was like 2 hours and 20 minutes. I thought they could have shed up to 40 minutes off this movie. There were some moments, there were some stretches in this movie that I thought were boring. I was looking at my watch. There's this one stretch. There's this really cool scene where there's a chase in the forest with these flying vehicles. Reminded me a lot of Return of the Jedi, the speeders chase section in Return of the Jedi.
Sure.
And it was good. It was well done. But then after that, they're like camping out and planning what their next move is going to be. Teela, Man-at-Arms, and He-Man. And it's just like this scene was like too long. And there was another scene like that was just too long, where they are at the castle. Everyone's captured in prison, and they're preparing to escape and go march the castle and try to attack Skeletor. And that part of the movie was too long as well. I just thought these moments just caused the movie to drag and took me out of it.
Well said, Mike. Just like your response, it was a little too long, but I can't hate on it. And that's funny because that was my also first hate to see it. It was too long.
Okay. All right.
And as we alluded to earlier, this movie bombed, Mike. It did like 29 million domestically,
50 million worldwide,
15 million
$200
worldwide.
million budget.
Yes. So maybe viewers were turned off knowing ahead of time this is going to be a 2 hour and 20 film, flick. at the end of the day, time is precious, right? Some people don't have 2.5 hours to see a film. Also, considering you have to have like 30 minutes of trailers, we're talking about a long adventure, right? So it
Yeah.
looks like people did not sign up for this long adventure. And I was kind of disturbed about that because I felt like there were a lot of good supporting characters,
Hmm.
obviously from the show, that were kind of underutilized in this film. So if you're going to spend 2 hours and 20 minutes, like, don't waste time. At least talk about these other supporting characters. Like, give me more backstory on them. Like, don't limit them for these dull moments.
You wanted
So
more Mechaneck?
yeah, why not? Give me more Fisto. I love Fisto.
I
Uh,
knew he was going to be a favorite of yours.
he was, certainly was. Back in the day at college, there was that song, I forget the name, but he would say bowling. So my thing was fisting. So I was all excited about Fisto. I thought the actor playing the character did a decent job. Actually, good job. I liked him,
Yeah,
but wanted to
yeah.
see more of him. So yeah, 2 hours and 20 minutes, a little too much for me, especially because I saw this after 10 o'clock at night.
Okay. So we're in agreement there.
We
Uh, my
sure
next
are.
my next hate to see it is I didn't like this whole conflict resolution angle that they were trying to force into the storyline. Um, Adam, when he's on Earth, he's working in some HR role. So he has this very modern boss who's like afraid of confrontation, and seems like that's what he is all about as well. And they're trying to bring that into the Masters of the Universe IP, and it just doesn't make sense at all. I think they're trying. I think they're honestly going after so-called toxic masculinity, and they're trying to update the character for modern times. And I didn't think the movie came across as like, woke or message heavy
No,
or anything, but I do think that that's what they were trying to do with that angle. And it's very light touch, but it just didn't work. If you want to do that, what they should have done is, first of all, we don't even see him in his role on Earth. Like the only time there's one scene where he's at his job and he's just drawing pictures of swords and looking for the sword. That's all we see him doing. He has no interest in his job whatsoever. If we saw him on Earth actually in his role as an HR personnel or whatever, actually,
doing HRing.
doing HR, like trying to de-escalate a situation at work or something, and he does a good job of that. And then later on in the movie, he does it again in the context of these enemies on Eternia. Then that might have worked, but the movie doesn't set it up at all. Plus, every conflict he's involved in, I mean, Skeletor, he says it himself, he's just evil. Like there's no character in the movie that could potentially be reasoned with. Every battle has to be fought with fists and swords. So it didn't
Fists and
belong.
swords.
It didn't belong in the movie.
No. Well said, Mike. I like that perspective. Maybe they're
Hmm.
trying to say, just like Skeletor, HR is evil.
Maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, like you said, 2 hour, 20 minutes. We didn't need all that HR bullshit without actually getting to that HR stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, Alrighty. So
You
my
got one
next,
more?
I do. I sure do. I got one more, Mike, before we get to our next segment. Now, I want to like tread carefully here because I thought the actress was great. I really enjoyed her. I'm talking about, let me see my notes, Camila Mendes as Teela.
Yeah, I thought
The
she was really
actress,
good.
yeah, the actress was really good. But I thought maybe she was a little miscast.
Hmm.
First of all, her performance was great. Nothing against her performance. But this is supposed to be like a badass character. And yes, she was badass, but she kind of was small, in my opinion. She's not a huge, imposing character like she's supposed to be. Again, the actress as herself was phenomenal, I thought. But in the beginning of the movie, if you remember, they had the younger version of her, which is bigger than a guy, right?
Hmm.
Which is bigger than He-Man. But that character looked, or that actress looked nothing like the grown-up version, right? So it's kind of
Right.
like she was like a hulking figure, and then she gets smaller. And I was watching some interviews between them, the two actors in this film, and when they were doing a screen test, the main actor actually said to her, "Boy, you're tiny," something like that, and she was afraid that that would prevent her from being casted in this role.
Mm.
So she's 5'2", which is pretty tiny in my
Oh,
opinion.
wow.
Yes.
I had no idea.
So yeah, that kind of like threw me off a little. So as you can deduct, when we get to our what if section, I'm going to have a different actress who I think
Well, I
should
have
play
someone
her.
as well in mind for Teela.
Okay, looking forward to it. But that was it. Again, nothing wrong with the actress. I thought she's great, but I just need something else.
Okay, cool. I hear you. I have a mini hate to see it. I just want to get it out there real
Sure.
quick. I liked Skeletor a lot. I thought Jared Leto did a good job. I don't know if this was just an issue in my theater. I had a lot of trouble understanding what he was saying. I found half
Mm,
of what he was saying unintelligible. Did you have that problem?
no,
All right, maybe it was just my theater. Maybe it was just
could
the sound
be.
mix. It was a shame because a lot of what he was saying was very funny.
Yeah, I'll get to that later.
Okay, so that brings us to our next segment. Love to see it, which is just the opposite of hate to see it. We each bring you two things that we loved about the movie. You want to
So go
go?
for it.
I'll go. This is the same thing I had last week. I loved it again. The soundtrack I thought was awesome. The main theme song, every time they played the first few notes of the main theme song, I got amped up. It is such a good song. I want to listen to it actually. I want to work out to that song. It is great. The soundtrack of this movie, it's a really cool mix of um, heavy metal and electronic music, reminiscent of Thor Ragnarok, I would say, but it feels original. I saw in the credits Brian May was involved. He played guitar on the main theme,
Mm,
and there was a Queen song featured
yes.
in the movie. So yeah, the soundtrack, the score, I thought was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well said. I keep saying well said. I should stop saying that. But a film like this, you better come with a banger of a soundtrack, and which they did. So for me, you alluded to him earlier, Skeletor, Jared Leto, and he's going to be one of my love to see it's. So Jared Leto is kind of, on a decline recently, right? A lot of his movies have bombed, which so did this. So maybe he's a curse in that sense. And a lot of his acting roles previously or recently have not been great. Obviously, this guy is a musician at first, and then he won an Oscar, but then he's gone very downhill quick. So I was kind of worried about his casting, which a lot of people were worried. Like, is this guy going to do well? And honestly, in my opinion, he did phenomenal. He brought back a lot of the 80s Skeletor with the campiness. Like, he really owned that. Like, he was, you were scared of him, but he also was kind of funny, right? He had that campy humor, those one-liners, which I liked. So I think he blended that really well. He came. It felt like I was watching the cartoons again. He brought that element to the big screen, which I was really happy about. Because Skeletor, even though he's a menace, he's also pretty funny as well. And he would laugh several times throughout the film with his jokes and one-liners. So I thought Jared Leto did a really good job.
Yeah, Jared Leto did do a really good job. I was reading that he was on set the whole time. He filmed all the scenes as Skeletor. He had the
Mm,
costume on, and then they digitally changed his face to the skull. So that's pretty cool.
that is cool. Thanks for sharing. I did not know that.
Yep. Um, okay. My next love to see is kind of a small one, but I loved it. Every time Adam drew the sword and said the iconic line, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. Like, so this is a very iconic moment that I have absolutely no nostalgia for because I didn't grow up with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. But I felt nostalgic for it. It was so well done. It was so epic when he draws the sword, when he says the line, when he transforms into He-Man, and then he just starts kicking ass. It was awesome. I got hyped up for that every time it happened in the movie. I wish it happened a couple more times in the movie. I think I would have liked the movie even more. Love to see it.
Love to see it. And then again, I talked about Skeletor, Jared Leto being funny. I thought a lot of the film was very funny.
Yeah,
There
there's
was
good humor in the movie.
great humor. It brought a lot of that cartoonish humor from back in the day in the 80s. So I thought they did a really good job of adding the humor. Even the main actor, Adam, before he becomes He-Man, he kind of like is self-deprecating, kind of makes himself the butt of the joke. So it's nice to see his progression to become a badass. But yeah, there was a lot of funny moments that I was cracking up pretty loud. It just reminded me of the playful, humorous cartoon from back in the day.
There was one, I mean, there were a lot of funny lines, but there was one funny line that made me chuckle, where Skeletor's giving some speech and he's saying, like, you were but worms to me. And then Man-at-Arms says, did he just call us butt worms? And I was thinking the exact same thing because the way he said it, it kind of sounded like butt worms instead of butt
Yeah.
worms. It was silly, but it was funny.
Yeah, no, it was very silly, and all the characters had like a little humorous line, right?
Yeah,
It wasn't one sided.
I liked Ram Man a lot.
Yeah, no, Rayman. Yeah, and again, going to this movie, I was hoping the comedy would be pretty funny, and I thought it was.
Yeah, I almost I the reason I didn't mention it on Love to See It is because I'm actually a little bit more mixed on the comedy. I thought a good amount of it landed, but I wanted more of it to land.
Mm.
I wanted the movie to actually be even funnier. But
But it's the type of thing, Mike, where like they're not trying to make everyone laugh, in my opinion. Some of the jokes, like it's different personalities will grasp it or not. It just fed it fed into my type of humor.
yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, humor is subjective, obviously.
Exactly. All right,
Um, so that's it for Love to See It.
you truly love to see it. Let's get into our next segment, Mike.
That is What If. We alluded to it earlier. It's a segment where we talk about what if certain things were different about the movie. We could change up the casting. We could change up the plot. It's really an open vessel. We can really have a lot of fun with this segment. But I think we both wanted to talk about the casting.
Let's do it, Mike. Who's going
Um,
first?
why don't you? I mean, I
All
just
right,
have Teela, and you had mentioned Teela. That's the only one I have, to be
sure.
honest.
So I know I said this rule for us where we shouldn't use actors that are part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Hmm.
but it was really hard for me not to do this. So with Teela, I wanted a redhead. And I don't know if this person's a real redhead. I think she is. You'll know better. But it's Karen Gillan from
Okay, yeah. She plays Nebula,
yes,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of Galaxy. Yes. So she's 5'11". So she's a taller woman.
Hmm.
Um, and you said Nebula was a badass character. So we know this actress can be a badass. Not that the actress Camila was not a badass, but I thought she would have been a really good job because of the height. She would have that imposing factor, which I was kind of hoping for. You know, the transition from the little Teela to the older Teela would have been more believable if it was Karen, in my opinion.
She's a great actress. I think I could have seen her in that role for sure. Um, she does a good job in the Jumanji movies as well.
Oh yeah,
Have you seen those?
yes, I have. Is she redhead naturally?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to pick a redhead
Okay.
because
That's a,
the main actress she's not really a redhead. She's actually has I think black hair.
oh, is the character supposed to be a redhead?
Yes,
And what's the name? Like the action figure name? He says it at the end, like Warrior Goddess or something like that. Is that what her name is?
I forget the nickname.
Because he gives like action figure names to all the. I assume
Yes,
like those are like when you buy the toy,
correct.
like that, like Ram Man, right? Or Man
Yes,
at Arms, or
or
he has
Fisto.
names. I actually like that element of the movie, where because I just it's a little tangent.
No worries, go for it.
Um, Adam, when he's on Earth, he spends a lot of his time drawing things that he remembers from Eternia,
Yep.
including all these people that he knew. And he didn't necessarily know what their names were, so he gave them nicknames like Ram Man and Fisto and Man at Arms. Which in my head, I was just imagining, okay, these are the action figure names of the characters. Like if you were actually to buy the toy in a store, that's what the name would be.
Warrior
And
Goddess, by the way, you're right.
Warrior Goddess. So I liked that. I thought that was a clever way to introduce those names into the movie.
It sure was really well done.
Okay, so for my casting for Teela, now you have the Marvel rule. Is it an MCU rule or is it like any Marvel movie that we should stay away from?
Let's just say MCU.
Okay, because I have someone who's been in a Marvel movie, a Fox Marvel movie,
Okay.
Deadpool.
Mm.
Gina Carano.
The she just had her last
Yeah,
fight.
the MMA fighter. She has done some acting roles, and she brings that physical presence that I think you felt was missing. Uh,
Actually, I love that choice.
yeah,
She was done dirty by Disney. She
yeah.
was on
In the
Mando,
Mandalorian, yeah.
so it'd be nice for her to come back.
She's
Well,
not a
different
redhead.
universe.
She's
She's
not a
not
redhead. She's not a great actress, but she has a great performance, a great
physical.
presence on
Yeah.
screen, physical presence, and
Yep.
I think you'd have to limit the number of lines that you give her. But I think they could have done that for her. I think she would have been
Yeah, I
good.
agree with you. That's a good one. A little out of
Yeah.
the box, and I like it.
Yeah. I just thought of it while we were
All right.
recording. I didn't think of it ahead of time. That's
That's
all I
funny.
have. I don't have anything else.
I'll be really quick, not to hate on this guy. So King Randor is it Randor? The king, obviously He-Man's father. So the actor's name is James Purfoy or something, who I think generally is a better villain character. He just wasn't imposing. Like he didn't have that king factor for me.
Okay.
So another person I would have cast is potentially Liev Schreiber. He's got more of a presence. I feel like they kind of underused the king, right? Because he was gone for most of the film.
Yeah.
So again, I don't want to necessarily replace him, but if I had to pick one, I'd have done Liev Schreiber and give him a little bigger
Well,
role.
he dies in this movie, right? A spoiler, but we're in the spoiler section, right?
Yes,
So
we
why
are.
not? Why don't we cast him with the actor who is the greatest at dying of all time,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Sean Bean?
Yeah, that would be actually that's actually even better. That's a phenomenal one. 009, what was he?
006
006. Good
for
job.
England, James.
Yeah,
All
you came
right, so we got
some good
some good
ones.
what ifs there.
We did. So
I sorry,
let's
go
wrap
ahead.
it up, right?
Let's
Let's get
let's
to our
wrap it up. Let's take it to our final segment, the verdict. The verdict, where we give our final thoughts and review of the movie. I'm gonna go for it if you don't mind.
go for it, Mike.
I had a fun time with this movie. There were parts of the movie where I was on the edge of my seat and having a blast. Really, mostly it was the fight scenes, but some of the comedic elements. Uh, and I think the movie did a really good job of world building. I liked the lore of this universe. I would contrast it with Mortal Kombat 2, which we saw recently, which actually some of the lore is somewhat similar.
Hmm.
You have both movies starting out with powerful sorcerer type characters conquering a world and imprisoning the royalty of a planet. Um, but this movie had better world building. I do think it was held back by its runtime. I think it's pretty significant problem with the movie that unfortunately is going to knock it down to 3 stars for me. So it's going to be in the love to see it. I wanted to like it more, but it's just going to be 3 stars.
Okay. And for me, we're gonna disagree this time. It's like reverse of last week. I'm giving this 4 stars.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed this. I was hesitant going into this film. It brought back a lot of memories from the 80s. The humor, like I alluded to or spoke about earlier, was there for me. The action pieces were great. The actors that were casted for the most part were great. I loved how they revealed it. Hey, Gato. Now Gato's awake. He
Mhm.
agrees with me. He's pumped. But I thought it was really clever the way they introduced his name, He-Man, and they all made fun of him, right? At the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, I just love how he's part of the joke. He's the butt of the joke, but also he's the hero at the end. But again, I really enjoyed it. Even though it was long, I don't think I was ever bored. I
Okay.
just thought they could have used that time better. Like use that time to talk about the supporting characters more, give them more screen time. But you didn't talk about it. Idris Elba. I was worried
He,
about him
he was really
because
good in this movie.
he was really good. I was worried because I'm like, why cast him? There's so many other people you could have cast. Like they're using him too much, but he was really good. He
Yeah.
was funny,
Yep. I agree.
and especially his arc. I thought he had one of the better arcs in the film, right? Because as you talked about earlier, he gets defeated pretty quickly, and then he goes into like not that he's a drunk. Maybe he is a drunk, but
Oh,
his
he's a
character goes
drunk.
yeah,
Yeah.
his character goes down, but he redeems himself. So I love to see it.
Yeah, okay. All right, I get it. I want to watch it again. Maybe I'll feel differently about it the second time because there were a lot of things I did like about the movie. Like there were some really get hype moments in this movie. So maybe it'll land better for me a second time. I do want to. I will watch it a second time. I'm looking
And
forward to
viewers,
it.
please see this film. Please see it. It's bombing big time. I want a sequel. I think they can really improve it. So please go ahead and check this
Well,
out.
I mean, they tease a sequel that's probably never going to happen. There's a very
Three
brief.
scenes.
I stayed for the I think there were two. There was a mid credit or there was
Yep.
what were the scenes the post credit scenes. The one I'm thinking of is where they show She-Ra.
Yes, they show She-Ra.
That's the
They show
major one, right?
yep, and then they also show that Skeletor is going to come back. And there was another one in the beginning with another fan favorite character. I forget his name. But let's wrap it
Okay.
up.
All right. So yeah, it was good discussion. Yeah, Masters Universe, go see it. I do recommend it. I think it's a good in theater experience. The movie looks beautiful, sounds great, and it could use the support because I think it's an IP that deserves to make a comeback. But it's not looking so good. But next week we've got Disclosure Day. right?
Big movie. Steven Spielberg. He's back with one of his the guy. What's his name? John Williams.
John Williams, yeah, is composing. He's like almost 100 years old, I think.
Yeah. Yep. He is. So I'm really excited about that film.
Yeah, a bunch of actors that we've seen in other movies on our channel that we've reviewed.
Yep.
Also, I haven't seen a Spielberg movie in theaters. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Spielberg movie in theaters. It's been a long time. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's what we've got lined up for you next week. And thanks for tuning in, and we hope you tune in again next week.
Till next time.
Till next time. Bye, guys.